What up? Welcome back to another Q Fridays. This topic is it's a real ass topic. I would say it's called have some fucking respect for yourself. All right. What does that mean? It means that as you're going through days, through your hardships and that kind of stuff, like respect yourself enough that you want better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So this topic came about by a person actually commenting on that one picture that I have on Instagram that I'm sleeping on the couch with the laptop in my hand. So that scene was from me just studying trading towards the time that I was like just starting, in a sense. Like I was at a point that I was like studying very, 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 very hard. Like I would actually have friends come over, leave, and I'm in the same place studying, falling asleep like this. You know what I'm saying? He commented, at this time, were you feeling as if you would have a big house, nice cars, and like that kind of stuff? And I'm like, and I was like, in my head, because I didn't comment back, because I was like, just watch the Cute Fridays. I was like, why wouldn't I be dreaming that? You know, like, why not? Like, I'm in a spot that I know that I do not want to be in. I'm in a spot that I'm okay. Like, if I was to maintain like this, cool. Like, I'll be perfectly fine, but that's not me. I respect myself enough to know that I want more for myself, and I'm working towards that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get how some people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if maintaining in life is one thing, but at the same time, if you're not in a position, like if you see greater for yourself, then why aren't you working towards it? You know, like no one's gonna work towards that for you except yourself. Like no one's gonna actually put in the work for you except yourself. The dedication, you gotta have that to actually be able to put in that work to then get to where you wanna be. At that time, was I dreaming of big houses? No. And this is why I said no. I was too focused on the now and worrying about what I had to get done like right now. When I had the money to buy a big house, cool. Now let's look at big houses. You know what I'm saying? In that picture, I was not looking at Lambos. I was not searching on Lambos. Nothing in my Google history said Lambos. Nothing. Nothing in my Google history said Ferraris, traveling, nothing. At that time, I was focused on working on that situation at that point in time. I'm not making, let's say like $2,000 profit and all of a sudden going on Google looking up Lambos. No, because I know like that's not the reality of the situation. When I was able to when I knew that financially I was able to then be open to looking at new cars, new things, new houses, then I would do so. But in that moment, like, do you think I want a distraction like that? Looking up these expensive ass cars when I know damn well I'm not in a situation to even like get anything close to that. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna distract myself by looking up things that I know that I cannot obtain at the moment. It doesn't make sense. I respect my situation enough to know that the situation that I'm in, I'm capable of this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Everything that's on the outside, cool. I know I want to get there, but right now I'm focused on like right here. Once I tackle everything that's like right here, then I could actually get one barrier more, then one barrier more, then one barrier more. Like I like to focus on what's now. Like what is the situation like right now, and like what do I have to do like right now to just get better within the situation to then break to that next barrier. I cannot look beyond the barrier that I'm currently at and try to focus on all these things. That's why I stress when it comes to vision boards, whack as fuck. Why? You're focusing on this barrier when you're right here. Focus on getting out of this barrier right here, because now you have to get out of this barrier, get out of this barrier, get out of this barrier, get out of this barrier. And then when you have the capital and all these other things to look at things that's within this barrier, then you can focus on that. But why are you here focusing on things that's all the way out here? It doesn't make sense. Vision boards, whack. You're distracting yourself. affirmations, it's whack when you're not putting in work. You can't have all these affirmations on your wall, or you're reading these affirmations every single day when the work is not being put in to work towards getting outside of that barrier. You can't. The wackest fucking affirmation that I always hear is, oh, it's like the money ones, like, oh, you will have a vast amount of money drop into your bank account, blah, blah, blah. How? Because the text said that? How? What's the situation that's gonna make that even a reality? The affirmation said, oh, I'm gonna have a vast amount of money. I'm gonna have 7 figures in my bank account by so and so and so and so. How? What's the situation that you're doing to even let that even be a possibility? Is your business popping? Is your investments popping? What's popping enough to make that a reality? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're distracting yourself. The apps that have affirmations, you're distracting yourself. Vision boards, you're distracting yourself. You have to have a way on how you plan on getting there, but you're focusing on this outer barrier when you're still right here. Stop distracting yourself. I've never been a person to distract myself enough to know that, like, I'm worried about, you know, the big houses and that kind of stuff. Like, yo, like at that time in that picture, I was in an apartment and I was just focused on making more money. Once I was making more money, cool, then I was able to then, you know, slowly break out of that barrier, slowly get into a nicer place. Once my lease was up there, cool. Like, I see how much money I was making, how much money I was able to afford on next spot. Not that much. All right, cool. Like, let me just upgrade this a tad bit. You know what I'm saying? But like, I can't even look at that new place if I wasn't making enough money. I have to get out of that barrier that I was currently at that point in time to then break out into that next barrier. I went from that apartment, I got a townhouse. The townhouse at the time, I think I was paying what at that apartment? I think I was paying like $1,800 a month, 1 bedroom. The townhouse that I got right after that was $2,500 a month, 3 bedroom. I had a roommate, cool. Like, let's chop it up, this and that, this and that, this and that. You pay your half, I pay my half, whatever. Like, let's thug it out. You know, and then I slowly, you know, once I got used to that apartment, paying $2,500 or like a portion of that, I was making enough money at that point in time inside that town to then move to my condo on the water, paying, what was it, $3,000 a month. Because I got so used to the money that I was making, the bills that I was paying, all these things, that I was able to then slowly break out into those next barriers. You know what I'm saying? After that condo, I got used to paying $3,000 a month. I got used to that. I got used to having a certain amount of capital. Like, I got used to certain things. I think around that time, I just, what was it? I think I just hit like the first, no, I think I was close to $1 million in my bank account at the time. Close. But I couldn't start looking at fucking Lambos and that kind of stuff. No, I almost had like $1 million in my bank account. I couldn't look at Lambos yet. Why? Because I know myself. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it, and I'm not gonna spend $300,000 on that when I don't have a house yet. I can't have these expensive things if I don't have a house yet. That's when I had got my Porsche GT3. I knew that I could afford that at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was slowly, like, I was slowly getting into, you know, the things that I liked and that kind of stuff. But I had to understand where I was and understand like the limits that I have to set for myself to know that I could sustain myself further and not have these expensive ass things just to impress who? I'm trying to impress myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to impress myself and have my fun my way, instead of actually trying to like go to a point that I'm gonna make myself uncomfortable to please other people. You know what I'm saying? I respect myself enough to know that I have to do these things for me. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to actually go out there and impress other people with expensive ass things. You're literally only hurting yourself unless you're able to buy these things cash or to buy these things times 2, times 3. If you're not able to, then a lot of times, like, you know, you don't really want it. And you're buying these things just to impress other people and that kind of thing. Respect yourself to know that you have to put in the work ethic at the time of your situation to then break out into those next barriers. You know what I'm saying? You can't go from, let's say, you can't jump from a Honda Civic straight to a Lamborghini Aventador. That's a big ass jump. Like, you're jumping from here to here, like, you know, like, huge. Level yourself, like, slowly, level. So by the time that you get here, where that Lambo is, it's easy to sustain. It's nothing, because you went through all these other barriers to the point that you were able to now break into this barrier here, and the foundation is here. It's not here. If you jump from this foundation to this foundation, well, this foundation to this goal, it's so much missing that you don't know how to sustain yourself. You got to have that foundation to the point that, you know, you're in this bracket. You know what I'm saying? Respect yourself to know that you have to pretty much put in the work and to not try to fall flat on your face to impress other people. You know what I'm saying? So that's this Q-Tip Fridays. Have some fucking respect for yourself. Have some respect on how you go about things. Have some respect on how you actually set these goals for yourself. Because the day that you actually try to jump way too much and overextend yourself and over leverage yourself is when you fall flat on your face. And who's laughing? Everybody else that's around you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else. Don't try to impress everybody else. Impress yourself. Only fight against yourself. You're literally only in competition with yourself. And respect yourself enough to know that and not get distracted. Don't get distracted by affirmations. They're literally just words. Affirmations are just words. A vision board is just pictures. It means nothing. But don't distract yourself of trying to chase something that's in this barrier when you're only right here. You're distracting yourself. Focus on the now. Focus on this area. Focus on breaking out of this barrier to this barrier. And then this barrier to this barrier. This barrier to this barrier. Until you get to where you want to be. But don't focus on here when you're right here. You're distracting yourself. Get back to work. Q-Tip Fridays next time.